Today, as we walk in this season of Lent through the book of Science of Life by Dr. Scott Hahn, we now look at chapter number 8, a chapter dedicated to the sacrament of marriage. Now, this sacrament is one of just great representation, a great image, not just of a husband and a wife being married, but is really that marriage that anytime we go to a wedding and we witness the bride and the groom giving of themselves, pledging their love to each other until death do they part, we see then that that is really the image of God wanting to be married to humanity. That's what Scott Hahn points out, that marriage, as he says on page 65, got to the very meaning of the bond between God and his chosen people. You see, God is wanting such a union with us, as if the two becoming one. He wants to share in that marriage with us, which is really that understanding that St. Paul brings up in the letter to the Hebrews, and says that Christ died for his bride. That as we're going through this season of Lent, we're seeing Jesus going to die for his bride, the church. That is, for all of us. You see, we celebrate the great sacrament of marriage in a way with God. And that is lived out, especially, as Scott Hahn points out, in the Mass, to where the Eucharist is Jesus giving himself for his bride, the church. That is, all of us members. So we celebrate at Mass the great wedding, the great marriage that we have, which is why in Scripture, in Genesis, it begins with a marriage, and as Scott Hahn points out, it ends with a marriage in the book of Revelation. We are in this marriage then with God. And all those who are married, you reflect that image of God's faithful love to his bride, the church. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to continue to walking with you in this season of Lent. God bless.